Hi, I'm Lucy Marvellous from Fresher Bites. Today I'm going to show you how to make this absolutely delicious basic sauce. We'll start by melting our 50 grams of butter. It's quite tricky to wave butter when it's soft like this. So what I'm doing is zeroing the scales with the knife on them. And then I want 50 grams, which is about that much. A little bit more. If I keep it on the knife, I'm not going to get it all over the scales, in theory. That'll do. 50 grams of butter in there. I'm going to melt that in a moment. And I need 50 grams of plain flour to make my roux. And again, I'm going to weigh the spoon, zero it. I'm thinking a heaped tablespoon is about 50 grams. Let's see. Gently pop that on there. Not bad, eh? 47. I'll just put a tiny bit more in once I've melted the butter. So next we need a wooden spoon for our pan. I'm going to do this on a smaller gas ring because it's only a tiny pan. I don't want to waste all the heat going up the side of the pan, so I'm going to move over here. To melt that, and then I'm going to stir my 50 grams of flour into it to make a roux. This roux method can be used for any type of sauce or gravy to thicken it up, and this is the way that chefs would make a proper sauce. Now that my butter's melted, I'm going to add in this flour and very quickly stir this all together. I'm taking it off the heat so it doesn't start cooking straight away. This is our roux. Keep stirring it so that it doesn't get lumpy. We need to cook that out for 1 minute to cook out the flour taste. For what we call a brown sauce, you can cook this a bit longer and it caramelises and make you a more brown sauce. But we're making a white sauce today. I'm just going to cook that for 1 minute and then I will start adding the milk. This is my 500 millilitres of milk. This is the important bit. We need to add this slowly and let it incorporate. I'm stirring all the time and you see the flour mixture, the roux, is absorbing that milk. If it starts to cook too much, take it off the heat as you add the next bit. Carefully stirring that in without flipping it all over the kitchen. That's it. Add a bit more. I'm going to keep doing this off the heat now. The pan's still warm enough. You can see if you don't do this carefully enough, that's when you're going to end up with lumps. If you do end up with lumps, you can whisk them out. What we want is a really nice homogeneous mixture. Incidentally, this is similar to how you make choux pastry for chocolate eclairs or rougeret. You see, I need to make sure it's really smooth before I go to the next amount of liquid. I should be able to add more and more. If you wanted to make a gravy, you just make this with the chicken stock or a beef stock. If you want to make a cheese sauce, you add the cheese afterwards. It's all about the stirring. Put quite a lot in this time. Should be able to cope with it now. Once I've incorporated all this milk, I need to bring it back to the boil, cook it for a minute, make sure the flour taste has cooked out. Slightly more skill to this than the corn flour method, but once you've done it a few times it's pretty easy. Now, because my pan is really small, I've got to be quite careful here. It's all nicely stirred together. Now I'm just going to bring that to the boil. At any point, if it starts to get lumpy, get a whisk on it and just emulsify it again. Remember, when you've got a pan on the hob and you're stirring it, put your hand flat on the handle and push down. It's much safer than holding it like this, which would tip it up. As it comes to the boil, make sure you're keeping it off the bottom of the pan, off the edges. You don't want that flour mixture to sink and make a pancake on the bottom and a milky mixture on the top. We need to make sure it's totally homogeneous, incorporated as it comes to the boil. And here's the science bit. Apparently the flour molecules will swell and absorb the milk molecules. When I make this kind of sauce with 10-year-olds, I ask them to use a whisk rather than a spoon because it eliminates the chance of lumps to some extent. But if you haven't got a whisk, you can't use one. There you go, you can see that thickening before your eyes. As it comes to the boil, that will really thicken up. And this is when it's critical to keep stirring it. Let's cook that out for a minute. There you go. There is your basic white sauce. I haven't even seasoned that because you could actually make it sweet. You could add some vanilla and some sugar and you've got a kind of custard. You could add some chocolate and you've got a kind of chocolate sauce. This is a simple milk, flour, butter mixture that has made you a sauce. Once you've cooked something, please pop over to Facebook. Let me know how you've got on. Maybe show me a photo of what you made. Or if while you're cooking you've got any questions, pop over to Facebook, Fresher Bites, ask me a question. There's a very good chance I'll be online and I can answer your question, or there might be someone else in the group who can answer your question too. Happy cooking!